YouTubers. So in my latest climb here, I made it to Master 5 for the second time ever. This time, so I went from Diamond 5 to Diamond 1 with pure Goblin Bikers, just continuing the trend from Season 39. But at Diamond 1, I was finding some just like inconsistency or just lack of success, really. I got frustrated with pure Goblin Bikers, and I decided, mostly for kicks, to shift over to or rather just to my favorite deck, Ninjas. And what I'm going to show you today is just how all of that went down. So going to match history, going for my last set of duels. I'm not going to show you all of them because some of them just were not that interesting, really. But figure I could show you some of the more entertaining duels from this, starting from here, really, from the bottom. And let's dive on in. So in this first duel, I'm going second here. So yeah, this is going to be the continuation with the Goblin cards first, with the Goblin Biker deck. And I'm facing what looks to be the start of a Kashtira engine. So I'm actually going to speed through this a little bit. They already negate my max C, so I'm in trouble, kind of. I'm thinking they're about to start to pop off. And then I see that they're running the Fiendsmith. Now right here when they activate Kashtira Birth, I decided to stop that because I just didn't want to give them any kind of recursion there. And so I could avoid the secondary effect next turn. Then I hit them with Nib as they're starting to go deeper into the Fiendsmith package, and that's pretty much GG's. There's nothing else that can do that. So with that, so let's go to the next duel. I'm going to skip over the next win against Triple Fives because they just scooped once I started setting up my board, so it's just not an interesting duel. Same thing with this loss here. I believe, let me just confirm the deck. Yeah, this duel, they went first and they set up full voiceless voice combo, and there was just nothing I could do. So moving on to the next duel. Still on Goblin Bikers, but now I get to go first. So I'm just going to go into the basic combo here. Tour Guide. They try to Dominus it, and then I can just use Kagemucha Knight's special summon effect. That still lets me go full combo here. And I decided to take the aggressive approach here because I have Crossed Out Designator in hand, so I don't have to worry about Nib. So yeah, just trying to build the board here, try to get a nice a strong end board there. Now that actually hurts. Them Bistieling my Gabanga makes me have to do this. So I just go into a Gabanga to have the absorption ability live for next turn. And I play Grand Bash there, which I would have used to level modulate and then create a stronger end board. But here I had to do it just to, well, you'll see that my board gets to be a little beefier in a bit. Now, something to note here. So I use Clatter Sploder's effect upon the activation of Sanguine Summoning, because then I sent for cost the Gone Wild effect, which will then allow me to absorb Sanguine Summoning. Yeah. And then I can use Gabanga's effect there. Now I was trying to bait out the Barone effect by using that, but they didn't take it. And then oddly enough, I guess, typical Tenpai player here just didn't read the card or didn't understand that I had a graveyard effect live there. So they sent their Barone right into battle, and for some reason didn't negate the effect. So they crash and then they scoop because there's nothing else they can do. The next duel was against a Madolche player, and frankly, there was nothing else I could do. Not only did I brick, but they also hand ripped me, which left me with no real plays. So we're gonna skip that one, and we can go right into the next duel. So here we are against everyone's favorite deck, as you're about to see, Stun. So they activate the Duality. I can just see from the top 3 cards in the deck, they have the classic Stun cards. And then, of course, they play Necro Valley, which at one point was my favorite card because I ran Gravekeepers. But here, I just know that I have to find a way to be careful and not let myself get just get walled in, get floodgated. So here, I'm able to play what I call Goblin Beatdown, because just by getting the Grand Bash, I would have had more than enough to do lethal there against the stun player. Super satisfying win. The next duel here, which is a 4-turn loss, was against Blue Eyes. And that one was just tough. There was really not much I could do. Actually, I'll show it. So here I actually got to go first, and I have a pretty strong hand. The problem is, well, you'll see, but there wasn't really a way that I could play this too safe because I didn't have enough extenders. I had to go into Gabanga right away and start to combo off. Because what I would have liked to have done is go into Gossip Shadow to insulate myself from Nib, but unfortunately I couldn't, and right when I was thinking about doing so, they nibbed me, and I'm in a world of hurt. Like, there's just nothing I can do. The most I can hope to do, and I didn't know what deck they were playing at the time, but yeah, I was trying to hold that Veiler for the last possible second there. I tried to use it on Sage, but they have a ton of extenders here. So now the only thing I'm really hoping for is that me playing Nib myself can save me. Typical Blue Eyes combo here. So hoping that they either screw up somehow. Now when I see the Crimson Dragon come out, I just decide to throw the Nib there before they can do anything that can give them just Omni Negate. And it actually worked pretty well. So what I'm really hoping for here is something that I can draw that can give me something useful. Now I go into Clatter Exploder, but unfortunately, Blue Eyes is really good at adding Veiler to hand because it's a level 1 light tuner. So I'm just really out of luck here. There's something I could even really like link or synchro off into, and it's basically GG's here. I forget if I scoop or if I tried to put up some kind of fight, but there was really nothing I could do. They could just essentially beat over the rest of my board, and it was going to be game. And then I see like some of the Fiendsmith engine coming out, so there was really just absolutely nothing I could do to save this duel. Yeah, now honestly, I think they're just flexing just to flex, but yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid the first time when I nibbed them. Because at this point, that board is just really unbreakable, borderline. And especially because my resources were depleted, so the only way out I had would have been to have had an Xyz on the field, or for them to summon one, so that I can sort of start to rebuild my board, but nope. Blue Eyes beat down. So now you see that I went on a bit of a streak here, because I believe if right after that duel, I kind of had just gotten a little fed up that I was getting nibbed a lot or just running into Max C a lot. So I decided to go for a deck that I could play a little bit lower to the ground. I could have gone Evil Eye, but instead I decided to go with my old favorite. So I go first here, and as you can see, I've switched to ninjas here. So we're gonna try to go with my regular combo. So I had Hanzo already, added Green Ninja so I can have some sneaky interruption with that later. Go into Mazen, set Duplication and the Book of Mystery. And I love the irony here that I switch away from Goblin Bikers, and the first deck I play is a variant of Goblin Bikers. I could tell just when I saw the Speedroid Terror Top. I was going to try to book it or use Yugioh to permaflip it, but the good thing is that I'm very familiar with Goblin Bikers now, so I was able to just interrupt them right in the right spot. So I see that they're running it with the Punk engine as well, so I banish the Z Amin, and I'm in good shape. Now, I thought this was curious, but then I realized it's because they want to have life points lower so that they can starts a combo. And then comes back to me. I flip up my mid-suiter so I have a monster negate live, and as I attempt to pop their face down, they just scoop. They really didn't have much there, so GG's. So next duel up, ninjas all the rest of the way here, and I get to go first again. So I have Hanzo, but of course Hanzo is a hand trap magnet, so I mercifully drew duplication, so it ended up being a waste. So I'm happy having them go -1, and I am able to still set up my basic combo. And I'm able to imperm the Kashtira, the Fenrir, and now I can start to just attack them, or to play on their turn and start to interrupt. So I see that they're running Diviner of the Herald, usually yeah, and there comes the voiceless voice cards. But I had a good hand trap there with Ghost Bell. Now they're still comboing off a little bit, but thankfully it's outside the battle phase, so I definitely was gonna see another turn. It's just a matter of how much they could accomplish with the current setup, and they actually do pretty well. They set up everything they need to. So they have an Omni Negate, and they force me to only attack the ritual. So I'm in a bit of trouble here, but I use the Yugioh effect to pop that, fuse off, and now I take away the low, and I destroy the other monster. So their Guardian still has a ton of attack points, but now I can start to really destroy the board because I go into Saizo, get the Digger, pop it, boom, out comes my Baku again. Baku special summons itself. And now I have full setup because now I can use their own face down monster as material. And I can do this. Go full ninja combo. Set up my monster negate and another flip. Immediately negate the Fiendsmith. I do not want them to get any kind of recursion there. Now I sense that the Guardian was about to come out again, so I go into Yaguramaru so that I can banish something on their side of the field. So yeah, out comes the Skull Guardian. Boom. Before low comes out, I'm still able to go pop off a little bit here. And I use the Green Ninja to flip up my Yugioh, that way I could permabook their low and reset my my Yaguramaru's effect for next turn. Now they have another one in hand, and they are able to use the other one for another ritual summon, and they start to clear a little bit of my board. So in a little bit of trouble, but I don't remember what I drew. Oh yeah, I drew it right into my best starter. So now I use Yaguramaru, banish, bait the negate, and then I'm using it as material to get out another monster. And at that point, they just, I guess I go first again in this duel, and let's see how it all plays out. So not the best opening hand here, but I am able to get some bodies out, go into Saizo, set the duplication, bring out Mazen, and full ninja combo, but he nibs me. But thankfully, Mazen is able to special out Hanzo, so I have a level 4 to go into with duplication, which I do in draw phase. They don't have Ash, so I'm in luck, and I still have a monster negate and a beefy nib token. So they're starting to Snake Eye combo. I Veiler that, just I want to use that negate first. Then I Mitsu the Diabell Star, and they're about to go into Fiendsmith combo, but out comes Yaguramaru. I banish the Moon of Closed Heaven, and that's pretty much it, because all they can do then is attack. I'm glad they didn't draw into any like Azamina cards or anything like that that could have helped them pop off, and I make it back to my turn. And from here, I go into another Saizo so I can get some resources. I get my trusty Iron Digger. Now I choose not to pop the Diabell Star so that it doesn't get to special summon itself and get some more stuff that they need. Instead, what I do is I just pop the Digger itself, get Baku, Baku gets Hanzo from grave, Hanzo normal summon, and at that point they scoop. So yeah, ninjas were starting to really do well there. Now here's where I get into a little bit of a tough part, because I go 2 and 3 over the next 5 duels. Let's see what we faced here. Oh yeah, this duel, I think this is the one where someone set up like 8 negates against me, so I'm not gonna even bother showing you that one because it was a lost cause. I think I fought well there. If I'm not mistaken, this duel, yeah, same thing. Almost the exact same deck, you know, Fiendsmith, Millennium, White Forest, all of that lets them combo off, and they set up a ton of negates. There was really just nothing I could do. Unfortunately, ninjas, while as you can see they're good in the right situation, if they go second and they're going against a deck like this, there's only so much I can do. I would need like the perfect hand, and even then I likely wouldn't succeed. So I'll show you guys the win from that series there. Now I'm going second, but I actually have a pretty strong hand because I have, as you can see, Veiler, Max C, and Imperm. So I have Veiler, the Tealerments. They're about to special summon another one, but I get the draw power off of it because now it looks like they're playing Tear Lightsworn. And I draw into Nib, which is perfect. So negate with one of the Imperms I drew, and that ends the turn. So now that really lets me combo off, or it would if I had a better hand, but here I'm at least able to just start to play. I use the green ninja there because then I could use their monster for in the next turn, as you'll see in draw phase, with my dancing leaves, and that gives me a nice set of ninja bodies that I can use. So I use Kagero to bring back Tabari. Upon the effect activation, I bring out Mitsu. Mitsu then is a monster negate that's live. Summon. And out comes Yagurumaru to banish the tuner so that they can't go into any synchro plays. And they just scoop. Yeah, then the last loss here was against Saki, but again, it was another surprise, surprise, White Forest, Millennium, Fiendsmith amalgamation here. Literally, these decks are just not like particularly creative. Like once someone got the recipe out, they're all the same. So I won't show you that one just because again, it wasn't a fun duel. Like I did what I could, but I want to showcase these last 3 here. All right. All right. So in the first of this trio here, we are going second. But again, a pretty good hand. In the sense I have 2 interruptions and they just brick, I guess? I didn't really get that one. So I go into Hanzo. They, of course, will Imperm. I summon out Mitsu with its effect. They're trying to fool me. I just do some direct damage, and I'm not trying to give them any extra draws because I figure if they brick that badly, I want to maintain that. And as you can see, they scoop. When I would check the deck list later, I would see that this was a Blue Eyes player. So living up to the old nickname, Brick Eyes. Now this duel right here might be actually the crown jewel of the entire set. So I'm going first. Not the best hand exactly, and especially not with that because I'm forced to just end on Tobari with my field spell. Now I do have Max C and I do have Nib, but I see that they're playing Lab, and Labyrinth unfortunately doesn't special summon much. Now they go ahead and they special summon there, so I get 1 extra draw, which is nice, but they go into Tobari, which thankfully is indestructible the turn that it gets flipped face up. So in main 2, I go into Mazen, and I get back my Mitsu for next turn so that I can try to make some other plays. Really, the thought here is I'm going to try to go into Saizo and get some resources. Now, they go ahead and special summon. They get me again with Impulse, but now I'm able to at least make some plays because Mazen is there. And I decide to go into Kagero. Now, they bring out the Equation Cannon. And here I go into battle because once they went with different dimension ground, I wanted to banish one of the monsters that helps to give them recursion. But I'm waiting. I'm trying to figure out how I can play around the equation cannon. And on top of that, so they activated there. Now, I guess they just didn't do math properly because, yeah, something went wrong. Because I was expecting to just lose my entire board there. Which, here, let me pause. Yeah, I don't understand what they did wrong there. But because I forget which one it is. Yeah, I can't activate monster effects in response to their normal trap cards. So if that wasn't on the field, what I was going to do was to special summon something with Mazen in order to throw off the number and hope that that would have been enough. However, yeah, I got lucky that this player is just not good at math. Now, they still do some damage, so they take out my Yugioh. No biggie there. I still have enough to technically pop off here. But now I didn't do anything else because I knew that the Daruma cannon was there, and I didn't want the turn to end just like that. I wanted to set my board up for next turn with enough. So I get Yugioh back, and then I set the Iron Digger, and I start to pop off. So I tribute summon Nib because one, I knew it wasn't going to come up naturally, but two, I needed some ninjas in the graveyard so that I could pop their trap trick and then get out Yaguramaru to banish the other set card, which ended up being a moot point because it was the dimensional barrier. I use the digger, get back Mitsu, go into Saizo, and then I put down the dancing leaf because what I was going to do is tribute their monster before they can flip it back up. And now I have a live monster negate, and I'm really in a great position here. There's not much they can do, and yeah, they scoop. And this brings us to the last duel of the set here. This is the one going for the rank up. And I'm going first, and I have Hanzo. So things are looking good. I'm able to get the cards so they don't have Ash or Imperm or Veiler. And I'm ready to go. Now, I'm going to play it cautious because some players also just know to toggle off. And yeah, they either top decked Ash or they just knew not to use it on Hanzo itself. So I tried to bait it with Max C. It worked. Now I use Dancing Leaves to get out the Yugioh to get me 8 levels that I can use with duplication. So I get out Kagero to bring back the Yugioh since I haven't activated its effect yet. And they're going into White Forest. So I try to Veiler. They call by the grave. Now there I Mitsu negate, and I will use the Yugioh to perma book those monsters, and they scoop. Yeah, not much to say on that one. Just a great way to rank up into Master for the first time, or for the second time ever, but first time this month, and first time with ninjas actually. So was really happy with the results there. And I can just walk you through the deck. So then just taking a look at the deck here. Going with 15 non-engine, so or 15 hand traps because I have the 3 Veiler, 2 Maxi, 3 Ash, 3 Ghost Bell, and 1 Nib, and the 3 Imperm. The rest is all ninja cards, and they work pretty well. Then I'll just show you the extra deck, which is standard 3 Yaguramaru, 3 Mazen, the Zeus package, Typhon, 2 Saizos. And as you can see, I actually didn't get to use the Cross Sheep Boral Sword OTK in any of those duels. The whole point really was that this deck was able to grind out certain wins and just using convenient timing of interrupting. So whether that's booking something on their field with Green Ninja or strategically flipping up something on my field to spring its effect. The Mitsu negate. Mitsu is really MVP here. Hanzo is obviously the best starter in the deck. Yugioh put in work with the flipping, as you saw there, especially in that last duel. Iron Digger for the recursion. And then duplication is really just a great kind of combo starter, if that makes sense, just because it gets out the bodies that enable the other plays of the monster negation and the fusions. Dancing Leaves when I was able to then flip opponents' monsters. This was great. And Yagurumaru obviously was able to banish certain things in a strategic way. And of course, Mazen, just the boss monster, really, of being able to special summon the right monsters at the right time. If I were to make any changes here to the deck list, I think I want to put Call by the Grave back in. It's just, with how big of a hand trap magnet Hanzo is, I think I need that card in. Perhaps instead of 2 of the ghost spells. The other thing I can think of is that, I don't know, I was debating putting Book of Eclipse back in for certain decks, but because I feel like I could use some board breakers. So maybe maybe a blind second ninja approach. But overall, I think this deck is definitely still slept on, and that if you know how to use it right, it can just really catch people off guard, and you can do some good things with it. But that's all for now. I'll keep y'all posted with any more ladder climbing. Who knows, maybe I can get to Master 1 this time around. But until then, I'll catch y'all later.